On June 15, 2026, in a quiet parking lot in Biała Podlaska, Poland, a man was shot multiple times at point-blank range. He died on the spot. This wasn't a standard gangland hit, and the victim wasn't a criminal. He was an artist. His name was Simyon Skrepetsky. For years, he did something incredibly dangerous in today's world. He refused to be comfortable, and he refused to stay quiet. But who actually was he? Simyon Skrepetsky was the alter ego of Robert Kuzovkov, a Russian-born painter and blogger. Born in Siberia, he built his entire career on criticizing the Kremlin. By 2021, Vladimir Putin's regime completely choked out free speech, making any political art a ticket straight to prison. To escape the heavy hand of the state, he packed his bags and fled to Poland. He didn't paint pretty landscapes. He called his style Skreponosny, a raw, aggressive, grotesque mix of psychedelic art and neo-primitivism. Here is where the story gets intense. Most political artists pick a side. Skrepetsky didn't. He became the ultimate outsider because his satire spared absolutely no one. He brutally mocked Russian authorities, but at the same time, he aggressively called out Ukrainian politicians and ripped into Russian opposition figures. To him, corruption and propaganda didn't have a nationality. And he didn't just paint the madness, he built an entire universe around it. Under the name MC Skrep, he dropped satirical tracks. But his biggest swing was a post-apocalyptic novel called Russia 2028. Think of it as a dark, twisted Fallout meets George Orwell's 1984. A story about a collapsed, totalitarian wasteland. To a Western audience, it reads like extreme sci-fi. To Skrepetsky, it was a terrifyingly funny prophecy of where his homeland was heading. Because he wouldn't play the us versus them game, and because his fiction was getting a little too close to reality, he ended up completely isolated. A one-man army standing alone. Just days before his death, Skrepetsky pulled off a massive, provocative performance right outside the Russian embassy in Berlin. Right after, he posted on social media that a wave of death threats was coming his way. For many watching this play out, the implications were clear. A targeted contract hit, showing just how far some regimes are willing to reach outside their borders to silence a voice. And here's the tragic twist. Polish security services actually offered him official protection. But Skrepetsky turned it down, telling his friends he could handle it himself. He couldn't. Following the hit, Polish police locked down the entire area. They initially detained 2 Belarusian nationals, but later released them. Right now, prosecutors have charged a primary suspect who allegedly pulled the trigger, though he denies everything, and the investigation is still wide open. Naturally, political conspiracy theories are flying everywhere. But let's step back from the politics for a second. This story isn't just about one murder. It's a mirror to our world. How much discomfort are we actually willing to tolerate before we try to silence a voice? Agreeing with an artist doesn't make them right. But disagreeing with them sure as hell doesn't justify violence. Art has a right to be ugly, offensive, and deeply uncomfortable. So I want to ask you, can you separate the art from the artist? And what matters more to you, being comfortable with what you hear or protecting someone's right to say it? Let me know in the comments below.